Writer Review. This is Eric Correct Writer, and this week we're going to be taking a look back at the 2014 comedy titled Sex Tape. Now, Sex Tape runs for 1 hour and 34 minutes long. It is directed by Jake Kasdan. It is produced by Todd Black, Jason Blumenthal, and Steve Teich. The script was written by Kate Angelo, Jason Segal, and Nicholas Stoller. The story it's based off of is from the memoirs of Kate Angelo. The cinematography by Tim Surstedt. The score was done by Michael Andrews. The cinematography by Tim Surstedt, and it was edited by Steve Edwards and Tara Timpone. And the stars of the movie are Cameron Diaz, Jason Segal, Rob Corddry, Ellie, Kemper, Rob Lowe, Harrison Holzer, Nat Foxon, Nancy Lenehan, Randall Park, Jack Black as in an uncredited role as a CEO or a technician for, I guess it's a parody of a mixed combination between YouTube and the very popular website known as Pornhub, called YouPorn. Remember, this is kind of a bit of a raunchy comedy here, folks. But don't worry, it's not X-rated. It would probably be more rated either R because of the content. But then again, back in the 2010s, we had movies that were rated R in the comedy genre. Let's see, we had rounding out the cast, we had Jolene, Blalock, Dave, Gruber, Allen, Kumail, Nanjiani, and Artemis, Pobdani. Jason Segal and Cameron Diaz star in this 2014 romantic comedy Sex Tape, which demonstrates that making a sex tape is a lot more fun than seeing yourself in the act. It may not be a deeply provocative movie, but it's still a film that will likely quench your curiosity. Or if you just want to see Cameron Diaz in the buff, even though she is in her mid-40s, still looks hot for her age. Still, if you're into that, who's stopping you? Anyhow, yeah. If you're into like raunchy comedies, this might be for you. No counting for tastes. So Cameron Diaz plays Annie Hargrove, who reminisces to the time when the last time her husband Jay, played by Jason Segal, has seen her naked. I mean, they would have sex here, there, and everywhere. They would do it in a doctor's office waiting room. They would do it on a football field. They would do it in a movie theater. They would do it in church if they had their way. The audience is definitely treated to a fun-filled expose of all the times they've got sexually active, from their first encounter to the time they got married, and then things just stopped from there. Jotting down on her blog, she recounts the reason why their sex life started going down, from having kids to balance and both having jobs. That's good enough reasons why their sex life is on hold. Under Annie's determination, she suggests that she and Jay should engage in making a sex tape as a way to rectify the energy that was once lost after they tied the knot. But things don't go as planned, as Annie wants these videos deleted, you know, but instead she accidentally sends the video. Instead, he accidentally sends the video off to several iPads as he tries to hunt down for them, and then the comedy takes off from there. Apparently, one of the iPads that they sent to them was eventually taken from them, and lo and behold, all of a sudden, now their sex tape has now gone viral. That means millions of people across the internet are going to be watching them engage in intercourse, and they don't want that. I mean, they're going to go through great lengths necessary to retrieve those iPads, and even going as far as to break into the headquarters where their sex tape is featured to try to delete them themselves. I mean, they actually literally crashed their car into the building. That just goes to show you how desperate they are. I mean, they don't even give a fuck if even their kids are in danger. Yeah, I know. It's kind of strange to see this, but in a movie that's called Sex Tape and they actually have kids involved, I don't know. That's kind of good. But nonetheless, it's not really as bad as you think. It's kind of like around the same area as other type of raunchy-based comedies. You know, they've had a lot of them in the 2009s, from movies like The Hangover, Hot Tub Time Machine, Pineapple Express, The 40-Year-Old Virgin. You know, those kind of movies, you know, that Judd Apatow was famous for directing. You know, those kind of movies. You know. So rest assured, it's not, you know, X-rated. It's R because of the language and because of the subject matter. If there was any standout performance, I would have to say that Rob Lowe and Rob Corddry are the real standouts here, who have some of the more funnier moments in the film. Corddry is Jay's friend Robbie, who is curious to see the tape, and while Rob Lowe is just wonderful as Annie's boss Hank, who tries to wow his fans by speaking in annoying techno babble like a Steve Jobs, just to stay hip and be connected with the modern audience. And though he runs a wholesome toy company with innocent toys for kids, he's like the Gen X version of Santa Claus. He is really anything but. He is just a sick, perverted kind of guy who makes a living promoting toys for kids. Segal shares penmanship to the story along with two other colleagues, which include Nicholas Stoller, and it was based on a story by Kate Angelo. This movie is greatly inspired by the myriad of the ever-popular romantic comedies that border raunchiness. I mean, you know, it wasn't just the 2010s that had also had that. Maybe it was a little bit more fleshed out at that period, but rest assured, it's not like over the top. Okay? I mean, I would not recommend kids to see this. If you show it to them, then you're out of your fucking minds. But, you know, if you're into R-rated comedies, this could be for you. The opening scenes kind of reminds me a lot like Neighbors, which at times feels a bit recycled and unoriginal. I'm sure they have originality in their veins, but it seems It's the reason the R rating is the chronic use of swearing. I mean, practically every adult character keeps swearing. Every fucking minute of every fucking second, there's always fuck this, fuck that. I mean, why the fuck do they fucking keep swearing every fucking 5 fucking seconds? You know? I mean, okay, yes, sometimes we adults do swear. I admit that. Hey, I could swear like a sailor too. But I just don't drop the F-bomb every chance I get just to sound hip or just to sound cool. No. I try to keep it as subtle as possible. Maybe when I was a teenager, I used to swear like a sailor. But now as an adult, I don't do it as much. It still pops out every few seconds or so, but not gratuitously. And that time when I was just doing that, I was only just playing around. That's not how I naturally talk. But still, the adults were constantly swearing worse than a sailor or worse than a teenage bully on the playground. I mean, sure, it's okay to keep the story going, to have a few vulgar words will slip out just to keep it casual. But when it becomes too frequent, it just feels juvenile, especially during the more serious moments in the movie. I don't have a problem with adults swearing. I do have a little bit of a problem with kids under 14 swearing. But as adults, yeah, we do sometimes drop a few fucks and shits out of our systems. It just feels unnatural. Swear? Fine. You need to get it out of your system? Go for it. But just not every last minute. Not every sentence has to end with a fucking swear in it. And even I think I've sworn too much in this rant. And I'm just trying to show you just how ridiculous it sounds when you swear every 5 fucking seconds. And while not entirely an abomination, sex tape can be seen mostly as a guilty pleasure at best. It has potential to be more deep, but it felt more compelled to be overtly juvenile and vulgar. And, you know, come to think of it, for people who are in their mid-40s still swearing like teenagers just felt unnatural. And although, yeah, Cameron Diaz still looks hot for a mid-40s person at the time. Well, this movie came out in 2014. She was born in 1970, so she was 44. Yeah, okay. And she still looked physically attractive for a 44-year-old. I'm not, you know, saying that that she wasn't, like, she was still pretty much eye candy. I know that sounds a little sexist on my part, but hey, this movie is called Sex Tape, so you know. And okay, Jason Segal does provide quite the great amount of laughs. And, you know, Cameron Diaz also has some great funny moments too as well. And their escapades is very intriguing because we all like to know what will happen next. How will they find a way to delete and destroy this sex tape, or how to prevent their sex tape from going viral. I mean, they're going to go through as many great lengths as possible. And, you know, that's kind of interesting. But the thing of the matter is, what makes this movie really bad is the constant swearing. You can swear all you like, but just don't make it a fucking habit. And maybe I've probably sworn less in this rant than the way these guys were acting in this movie. Swearing is not going to boost ratings, okay? So although I might give points for the excitement of the movie, the atmosphere was pretty fun. Even though the movie was 94 minutes long, you know, that's a good length. It breezed by very, very well. But I just think that the action was a bit juvenile and the swearing was way too frequent. So therefore, if I was to give this movie a scale out of 10, I would give Sex Tape a 6 out of 10. Yeah. So although I might recommend it on account of a guilty pleasure, I probably would not recommend you to see it as a way to find ways to affect your life, because it's not going to be a life-altering, life-changing type of movie. If you're into like those kind of movies, you're not going to find it here. 6 out of 10 seems fair enough. So I guess this ends my writer review. Thank you all for listening in. If you wish to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please feel free to do so. If you wish to leave a comment, go right ahead. Just remember, I come with 3 simple ingredients. Be kind, be courteous, and please refrain from any rude comments. And I will be back again with another movie review. So until next time, this is Eric Wright saying, keep watching those fucking movies, and I'll see you around. Goodbye. And I promise you in my next video, I won't swear too much.